So I don't wish anything quite that bad on these runners, but we'll see what happens. So they're both going to start at Link's house, and we got a heart container.
So it looks like they're going to go straight up to the castle, check out what's at least on Uncle, and maybe do the front. We'll see. We're going to get to see our tree pull here and see what kind of goodies that tree shakes out of.
And right off the bat, they got a bomb actually from the guard, which is kind of nice. And blue rupees from the tree pull is not too bad. And we get the lamp right away. We always like to see the lamp as a runner.
Yeah, the lamp is an interesting find early on because, you know, a lot. Oh, and we got an Uncle sword. Is this even randomized?
Okay, so both items here are pretty much vanilla.
Yeah, and that's quite a shock to the start. But it does look like Ultyma is going to go to the front of Escape. Let's see if Roach does the same. Having a weapon now will make this much more enjoyable adventure than just trying to do it with bombs.
Yeah, Roach stopped for a second tree pull just to get a little extra cash, which cost him a few seconds, but you never know, that cash could come in handy.
And it looks like we got a map, so looks like SAGTG in chat is done, so we'll see you later.
So I think the next chest will need to be the boomerang,
yep.
And then after that, I think it's 5 rupees in Zelda cell.
Yep. But back to the lamp. When you get that early, because a lot of runners are comfortable with doing dark rooms, it's not a problem. But it's really kind of trying to make sense of the logic and where it wants you to go. That the lamp kind of, it points you in directions of when you don't have access to dark room, it kind of limits things. But having the lamp this early on opens all the sphere like 1 and 0 checks like immediately.
Yeah, it opens certainly some checks in Escape here. It opens a chest in Eastern. And if you find a glove, it opens Death Mountain. But also, when you combine the lamp with that sword, I mean, that's 2/3 of Aga access already.
Yeah.
So, definitely, you can never say for sure this early it's going to be an Aga seed, but it looks somewhat likely.
Well, we got the small key in sync, so if our runners want to go through Dark Cross to get to the back of Escape, they can.
Yeah, so I believe that map check was Eastern and Hera were regular crystals, with Desert being a green pendant, if I saw that correctly. And we also have a little divergence here. Roach gonna Death Warp and head up to the Dark Cross chest.
Well,
Ultyma deciding to skip that for now.
Well, we know Roach is not gonna get anything but an item here, so we'll see what item it is, because that small key is insane.
Yeah, if it's a key, then he can actually get to the back.
The small key is in sync, so...
Oh, I missed that, okay. Just a piece of art. But, I'm actually kind of surprised Ultyma didn't go for that, since you do have the lamp. It is fully in logic.
I'm certain that Ultyma will probably go back to that at some point, but probably holding off until hoping that, because you got plenty of checks you can do right now. If you get the gloves, that makes back of Escape much easier to access than having to go all the way through.
That is true.
So we didn't get a lumberjack check. Let's see if Roach goes up there.
Yeah, he's headed in that direction. Oh, very nice 8-bomb pull. from the tree as Ultyma finds the blue boomerang and the blue mail. So all blue items so far in Blindside. And the mirror.
There's another blue item to add to your list. We're just missing like the flute and the. Well, we're missing flute and flippers and ice rod. Lots of blue items.
Also, we did see a sword on the lumberjack ledge, so I doubt anyone's going to go for that unless Haga is forced anyway for other reasons.
Yeah, pour one out for our lost swords, our lost sword brethren. Never to be found in the lumberjack tree. But we've got 300 and the bow! Well, it looks like that's not going to troll our runners today, so pretty good pretty good Kakariko overall. Lots of good stuff to be had here.
Yeah, Roach just might regret spending all that time on the tree pulls once he finds that $300 right away.
So Eastern Palace is a full clear at this moment. So
yep, I can't be kind of surprised to see anyone go anywhere other than Eastern after Kakariko.
Yeah, Mini Moldorm is tempting, but it might be easier to wait for that 500 rupees, do South Shore, and do all of that at the same time. Meanwhile, you can go full clear Eastern at this point, and looks like Ultyma is going to go that way.
Yeah, and interestingly, he skipped the race game, as well as did not go check the library, so that's kind of interesting. He's really in a hurry to get over to Eastern.
So we've got Old Man Sarsaparilla over here, and let's see what is in the closet. Meanwhile, Roach is going to find all those goodies in the well. And we've got some bombs, and ether, and some more bombs. So ether, nice to have a medallion, because you never know which ones you need, but, well, we're not certain if we're going to need that one.
Yeah, you never complain about finding them early, though. Ultyma doing a nice job getting around that blue guard. It's there's a certain way that you walk there in order to dodge him. Otherwise, you can lose a little bit of time.
Yeah, and so we'll see Roach if he's going to go to the race game over here. We got the red meringue in the first chest of Eastern, so there goes both of our boomerangs.
Dual boomerangs today. And Roach is going to check race game, which I kind of expect. Skipping race game is not very common play.
But we got a big fiver on the library, so that thing's not going to be collected. And then Roach is not going to blind go after the race game. I'm going to check out what it is, and it's Quake. So we can leave that knowledge there. We won't need that unless we need that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about just leaving it there, but I guess it's fine.
I may have done the same, because Quake, like if it was Bombos, I would take it for sure, because you never know if you're gonna need it for like Ice Palace, but Quake at the say is like, you know, basically kind of the worst medallion, and we got a unique item in Tower of Hera.
Yeah, and as Duke Firebird points out in chat, actually, It is quite easy to get back to that item with the mirror once you get into the Dark World anyway, so it makes sense. Alright, Roach heading over to the eastern area now as well.
And so Ultyma is going to get this last chest on the left here. Let's see if it gets the damage boost right away. Got it right away. Very nice, very nice. And so now we're off to the big chest and the final element of this dungeon, the boss.
Yep. Roach sitting on no arrows at the moment, so he has to make sure to collect a bunch on his way up to Armos.
So we've got one last item here on the Armos Knights. Let's see if it's a good one.
Wouldn't surprise me based on the items we got. It does seem to be pointing us straight to Eastern.
Now, how would you feel as a runner if it was Cape?
I'd be feeling like an Agaseed. I don't know if I'd go straight for Aga right away, because we do still have the whole South Shore to go through. But given that we haven't seen a glove or a hammer, Aga is starting to look more and more likely.
Yeah, if we see Sword 2 or Cape, we're getting closer and closer to that Aga.
A really, really nice quick kill from Ultyma on the Armos Knights. But nothing, just a piece of heart. So Eastern not to play, right? Well, it's a crystal, so you do have to do it, but not progression is what I meant to say.
Yep. And as for remaining checks, we've got Mini Moldorm, the Dam, Ice Rod Cave. We've got the Back of Escape and Agina, and that's it unless we get some progression.
Yeah. There are some sequence breaks our runners can also do. They can fake flipper up to Zora. Although I don't imagine they'll be in a huge rush to do that when they got so many more checks in Logic.
Yep. Because, yeah, they can go ahead and check the Zora area if they get the Moon Pearl. But there's some gloves.
Alright. So that opens up Death Mountain, the west side at least, and Back of Escape, and Zora.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Ultima go Back of Escape into Death Mountain here, because you got the mirrors, so you can do Tower of Hera and get that out of the way as well.
Yeah, Tower of Hera is fully clearable. Okay, nothing in Escape. So I'm guessing the next play will be up to Death Mountain.
Yeah. I think that's what the seed is telling us. And based on, because you've got limited checks other than Death Mountain at this point. You know, Back of Escape's done, and so now you've got just Ice Rod Cave, Agina. and Zora himself is technically in logic.
Roach not quite getting the quickest kill, but still makes fairly fast work of Harmless Knights.
And also pointing out that Tower of Hera has a unique item. We know this.
Yes, that's true.
It's definitely holds a lot of possibility to be something that our runners need, because we're looking for a lot right now.
Yeah, I think even without that hint, you'd probably still go Hera with it being a crystal.
Well, speaking of unique items, the old man had some silvers today.
Yeah. So we got pretty much one of the most powerful weapons in the game, just 15 minutes in, bow with silver arrows.
Yep. So silver bow is gonna mow down everything in your path, and wow!
Titan's man.
Hello, seed.
And that's not even our unique item in Hera, but that is Dark World access.
Wow, Death Mountain paying off big time. We haven't even gotten into Hera.
Oh, I'm mistaken. We don't have the Moon Pearl, so we don't have Dark World access. We can get into the Dark World, we just can't do anything there.
Well, we have a unique item in Hera, and this started off as a vanilla seed. Maybe we'll see vanilla Moon Pearl.
Yeah, there it is. Not vanilla, but almost.
French vanilla Moon Pearl. Well, there we're... Aga's dead today.
Pretty much.
Well, there is one small case in which Aga wouldn't be dead, is that's if the hammer is on Pyramid Fairy. Other than that, Aga's dead.
And even with the Hammer and Pyramid Fairy, there are some glitches you can use to get around that. If you have flippers, it's not too bad. It's a case that comes up pretty rarely, so I'm not sure whether these runners will know those particular glitches. Okay, Roach heading for the castle now. Is he going for Aga? And we got is that a blue cane in Hera?
Roach got the small key, so Roach is going to go to the back of Escape. Unfortunately for Roach, this will not be the most, the biggest payoff in the world here.
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't got that glove from that was Mini Moldorm Cave. Ultyma taking on Moldorm now. And yeah, it turns out Hera did have two unique items. We had the Moon Pearl and the Cane of Burna. Very nice fight from Ultyma. Moldorm Fighter Sword can be tricky, especially without the boots.
So we're already at 2 crystals, and it's not even 20 minutes yet.
Yeah.
So, if I was Roach, I would not have made this play. I would have gone to South Shore and save this for later, because there's a ton of checks in South Shore, and bearing in mind that the glove, me knowing the gloves are there, aren't really, isn't influencing my decision. I just wouldn't go there without the gloves, because it's a long time to go from the front to the back, and you still haven't checked South Shore, so...
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a gamble, I would say.
Yeah. And Roach is going to regret making that gamble here, because he's going to find those gloves and realize that that was not the best spent time. But
Right.
Ultima's headed into the Dark World, so here we are.
Yeah, I wonder. I didn't see a map check.
Yep, and there's the frustration slashes from finding the gloves there. That's one of those moments where you kick yourself from making some of the gambles that you do, but sometimes they're worth, sometimes they're not. Had the gloves been in the back of Escape, that gamble would have paid off.
Oh, here we
Okay.
go. Thieves Town stole its pendants and 5-6 crystals at Swamp and Turtle Rock.
Yep. So, chances of Pyramid Fairy being a big factor are low.
Yeah, both those dungeons require a lot of items. Roach checking Ice Rod Cave. I believe Ultima skipped this. Finds a red mail.
Not bad. Not bad to have early. So Ultima is gonna go and looks like gonna do dig game. Probably gonna loop in that race game with the mirror. So it's gonna get that Quake medallion.
Yeah, or at least he'll see that it's here. He can also do Smith Chain. With the mirror, it makes it fairly easy to do, so I imagine he'll do that and then head down towards Hype Cave. Roach now making his way up the mountain.
Duke, Flippers, and Hammer can't be on Pyramid because we need them for Swamp Palace, and Swamp Palace is one of the reds.
There's the silvers for
on
Roach.
the Pyramid. Okay.
Steve asks, what happens if you try to mirror at the race game? It will not let you collect the item. There's some kind of a text box that comes up calling you a cheater or something like that.
All right, let's see what the blacksmith has. Just a tip.
Pay him $10, you get 20 back.
And we're going to get our lunchbox on a world tour here. So we're going to get that Cave 45, Stumpy, Hype Cave. And if we find the book and a sword along the way, we'll even get a Bombos.
Roach, unfortunately, missing that bomb jump. He also got the hint there. It said Pyramid Fairy just has junk, which Ultima skipped that hint. So that might cost him some time later if he ends up doing Pyramid Fairy for any reason.
Well, we got a cape in Cave 45, so there's that.
Yeah, it's more evidence pointing towards a possible agar logical requirement. It can be logically required if the hammer and flippers are both sort of locked in the eastern part, because you need the hammer or flippers to get the pod without killing Aga. Unless you use fake flippers. Alright, here's our Hype Cave check.
And Roach getting that Moon Pearl.
I actually kind of like this routing from Ultyma. Normally I go and deliver the purple chest first, but I think what he's planning to do is come to Hype Cave, then deliver the purple chest, then mirror and walk over towards Agina. So if he does that, that would make a lot of sense.
So Ultima
Oh,
looks
he
like
hasn't
gonna.
checked this.
Oh yeah, hasn't checked the dam, so he's gonna route this in. Wonder if he's gonna check the first couple of chests of swamp here.
Well, he doesn't have flippers, so...
Oh yeah, no flippers, so we can't do that.
Yeah, with no hammer, there's really only one check you can do in Swamp.
Yeah.
So if you haven't checked the dam and you're going to be opening it anyway, it's probably worth dipping into Swamp for that one check. Oh, we got the flute.
That's a nice prize to be had in the purple chest.
Yeah, with my crystal, that flute is a required item. Roach, using the Kinaburna to make this Moldorm fight a little safer. It's a nice strat there. Alright, so both runners now at 2 crystals apiece. So that hammer, well, it's kind of a big thing that our runners are looking for right now. We still need quite a few items, but the hammer is kind of the biggest one.
So, Ultima, we'll see probably a Thieves Town next.
Yeah, or possibly might run up into Skull Woods, which that's where Roach is heading right now.
We could do a quick mire check as well for to see number one what medallion we need, and check mire shed and checkerboard if you want.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I forgot he was going to activate the flute. That's why he's walking over to Kakariko.
So yeah, looks like mire here.
All right, we'll see our medallion. Desert Ledge, just a big 20. And Mire is Quake, so we need to pick that up from the race game. And Mire Shed with a shield and a little bit of love. I don't believe Roach has found any items yet in Skullwoods. Ooh, almost gets wall mastered there. That switch is so annoying.
So big 300 in checkerboard, and
I think Ultima's gonna dip into desert now.
yep. We'll see if that requires the boots. That'll be knowledge at least.
Yeah, although with desert being a pendant, there's a good chance it's not required anyway.
Yeah, because we'll get a hit tile out of this. It's not boots locked, so
Yeah, he could full clear if he wants to. Roach, by the way, picking up the magic powder in Skull Woods. With the Titansmiths and Mirror, we can actually check that powder without the hammer. The only problem with that is you can't get back into your mirror portal, so you would have to leave the Dark World. So that makes it kind of an annoying check. Roach gonna go over check the Graveyard Ledge. He's being very thorough with his overworld checks, which I approve of that.
yep, Graveyard Ledge sometimes holds some pretty good items, so we'll see. Especially with Mirror being this early, any Mirror required location could be something good, but just a shield, so.
Yeah. And there's a bug gnat in desert. And he is going to go out ahead and take out Landmo. I think there is an item on Landmo, if I saw that correctly. Or it could be in the big chest. I don't think he's opened the big chest. Okay. Key. So there'll be an item on Landmo as well as an item on the green pendant.
And here goes Landmo. So, Roach checking Village of Outcasts, and we'll see if he dives into Thieves Town here.
Down goes Landmo. And just 10 arrows. But there could still be some value on that green pendant.
Heck, let me see.
And Roach is going to dip Thieves Town. Ultyma didn't even touch this dungeon, so see if he finds anything in here.
Yeah, heck, I mean, looking at our pendant dungeons, even the pedestal could be of value. There's not a whole lot of items required for these. All that's really required, our runners already have, except for the fire rod.
Yep. Ultima gonna go into Skull Woods. So he should find his powder. And given that he's already done the rest of the checks in Village of Outcasts, I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes and checks that powder right away.
Have we had a bumper ledge check yet?
Yeah, Roach checked. I think there was nothing. And there's the hammer in Thieves Town.
Well, that's big.
That is a big find for Roach.
And
he's going to go ahead and finish the rest of Thieves Town.
Yep, you'll be able to get that big chest if it comes down to it. So this is one of the better places to find that in. And with that hammer, that puts Pod full clearable.
Yeah. That also means Aga is dead, logically. Well, almost. There's always some trolley possibilities where that sword on the uh, lumberjack ledge ends up being required, but that's very unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, logically speaking, you could technically have a situation where, well, not even that really, because the Master Sword isn't required for unless there's unless there's like two swords in GT and a Master, and that's the only other sword, and there's progression on tablets, then
Yeah,
there's that. That's a combination that would work.
yeah, that's about it though. Alright, heart piece in the attic. Did Roach check the hint in Thieves Town? I missed if he checked it.
I did not see the hint either, so.
Okay, Duke's Firebird says heart container in Swamp Hollow's big chest. So that hint is kind of nice if you get in a situation where that big key is on Argus and you have to decide whether to go for it. Oh, you're right. We had a hint earlier that the big key is on the left side of Swamp. So that tells us we don't need to do that.
So Ultyma is going to head into Thieves Town, get that hammer, and from there, I wouldn't be surprised if our runners went to pod.
And Roach got the last item from Thieves Town, so he's going to mirror out. Not going to bother fighting blind.
Although Roach has not done the blacksmith chain or the hype cave, I don't believe. So Roach will pot. Oh, doesn't look like Roach is. Oh, probably gonna do dig game first, and then is gonna get that quake as well.
You can actually mirror over to the left door, which is a little bit quicker than going through here. I like Ultyma's bunny spray. It's very psychedelic. And Ultyma, okay, he's also deciding to full clear Thieves Town. Ultyma didn't get Quake, but he did check it, so he knows it's there.
So from here, Roach is gonna do those. He's gonna do dig game, possibly do the blacksmith. Looks like he's gonna
hopefully
continue to farm some stuff here.
Hopefully he does a purple chest because he's gonna need that flute.
Yep, and it does look like Roach is going to do blacksmith chain. Not surprised here. Gonna do all that. End up in the hype cave / purple chest area, and then from there, probably gonna walk on over to pod, maybe pyramid first, and possibly catfish if he's feeling like making that walk.
Yeah, You can also can check that powder on the magic bat as well.
Yep, can loop that in with this as well. Yep. And this is our first hammer peg check as well, so there could be something here. And there isn't.
It's a unique item.
But Ultyma will have the opportunity to do those two after leaving here if he wants, or may just save them for later if he feels like he's looking for stuff.
And Ultyma gonna go ahead and fight blind. I guess he figures he's got one pendant already. It's not too long to go fight blind, so why not do it?
Yeah, and if the pedestal ends up being a requirement, not a bad spot to have your final dungeon in, being Skull Woods being that last pendant Ultyma will need, so can just kind of mirror out and go to the ped right after if it needs to. Alright, so Roach is going to do the purple chest, so we'll get that flute and we'll be happy about that one.
Yeah. And Ultyma gonna come down to... We'll do the hammer pegs and I imagine magic bat as well. So, I'm guessing we'll see the runners head towards pod next. Well, you said that already. But we still got a lot of checks on Death Mountain to do as well. No one's done any of the flipper checks, so still a lot of overworld stuff left to do. Alright, there's the flute for Roach, and Ultima not going to go to pod. He's going to do Death Mountain.
Not a bad play. There's a lot of stuff you can check when you have the Titan's Myths. So, I mean, pod is basically an equally good option here.
Yeah.
Because, it may not have as much items as the East Death Mountain, but it's a crystal, and you can clear it and loop in that green pendant as well.
Yep.
So, I mean, either call is good.
And Ultima's actually going to start with Spike Cave, which is interesting to me. I guess it's just $20 from there. I guess you just wanted to get this check out of the way. But that is an interesting decision to go for that first.
Yeah. If I was gonna come up here, I would do that last, so that you could save quit at that last point. I thought that Ultyma was going to just do Spike Cave and go somewhere else, but yeah, if he was going to do all the east at the mountain, I would have done that and then came back and made Spike Cave my last check here, but
Yeah. It can be a kind of a pain because I guess what I would normally do is go up, go down Spiral Cave, check Paradox, go to the Dark World. You have the mirror, so you can mirror back whenever you like. And then when you're done over there, you come back and do Spike Cave.
Duke Firebird has a point. Ultima may have been hoping, the off chance that hook shot was there so you could get everything on one go. That does make sense.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, Ultima checking Spiral Cave and rotating up to Catfish. Maybe gonna route in Zora afterwards.
And who knows? Maybe Catfish has the flippers. Nope.
No, just bombs.
So we will get a look at the ledge and see what Zora has. Maybe we got vanilla flippers. We haven't seen those yet, and those are going to be required for 2 of our dungeons. Ice Palace for logic reasons and hard requirement on Swamp.
Yeah. Well, the Zora's Ledge at least having a vanilla heart piece. Alright, what has Zora got for us today? $20.
And it is a ripoff. So far, we're kind of stunted on progression here. Ultima picking up a Master Sword, so now we just need a book to check the tablets. So Aga's officially 100% dead as well.
Yep. So Master Sword is nice, but besides that, no progression really. So we'll see what comes up in Super Bunny Cave as Roach activates his flute. Ultima using a glitch. If you try to use the mirror while you're pushing a block in a cave, it will just delete the block for some reason. So it's kind of convenient to get through some places a little quicker.
Something sprite limitations, something. That's all I know about it working. So no hookshot cave checks at all, but I didn't see what was on the island.
It was nothing. I think, yeah.
And then we're gonna see what medallion is required. It's ether. So we have both of the medallions that we need. Quake being on the race game and already got ether.
And if we actually have, if the fire rod ends up being locked by Ice Palace, we could actually have a situation where all 3 medallions end up being required. Alright, Ultima heading into pod now. And I assume he'll stop on the way to check that green medallion, or green pendant, I mean.
So it looks like Roach gonna head in the desert, and we're gonna see if this Sahasrahla pendant pays off, but it does. but you only get $50 out of it. So paying off being the literal in this case.
So unless that pedestal has something for us, my desert pretty much a bust.
And there is still a good chance that there is something on pedestal because unless pod is completely loaded, we're still looking for quite a few items.
Yeah, of course we need to see the fire rod first before we can put anything on the pedestal, or before we can go and do the pedestal.
Yeah, if you come up out of pod without fire rod, with fire rod and only fire rod, that pretty much is going to tell you go to the pedestal.
Yeah. So in terms of the items we're still looking for, we need the hook shot, the flippers, fire rod, maybe. Oh yeah, no, we do need fire rod for Turtle Rock. We need the ice rod. We need the King of Samaria. So still a lot of items we need, and most of them can be on the pedestal.
Yeah, this seed was very generous at first, and then just kind of walled everything on. I mean, boots could even be required if there's something boot locked.
Oh.
And there's our flippers.
Alright, that's a pretty nice find.
So that gets us into swamp, but only the front of it.
Yeah. Ice Palace. Oh no, we still need fire rod or bombos for Ice Palace.
Yep, so that doesn't really... Oh, and that gets us waterfall access as well. We haven't seen a waterfall check because Roach did not have the flippers when he went up there.
Yep. Alright, there's Limo down for Roach. So he will also be disappointed with what the green pendant turns up. Alright, Roach gonna head into pod right behind Ultyma. There's a big key. Hey, King of Samaria. That, okay, that can get us into Turtle Rock to check at least one chest. Besides that, what else does it do? It does make Mire... No, we need boots or hookshot to get into Mire, so really it just opens up one chest in Turtle Rock.
Yep, and wouldn't it be something if that one chest is what we need?
That's always a pretty big troll.
And so Ultyma is going to see if there's anything that this place has left.
A bottle?
And we've got a bee, so we can check Sick Kid finally.
Yeah, so we got, just like the Cane of Samaria, that just opens up one check for us.
So overall, Pod kind of teasing us a bit. We got some flippers, which gets us a little bit of access. We got a bottle for one check. We got a red cane for another check. And Ped is still looking pretty well alive. I mean,
Yeah. We could see a hook shot or ice rod. Well, hook shot or ice rod, I guess, are the main items. Or very, very possibly boots if that GT big key is on the torch.
and we know Swamp is in the front is kind of lacking in a couple of areas, so we already know the big key's in the front, and there's a piece of heart in that chest, or is it a heart container? I can't remember.
Either way, it's not something they're gonna spend time going for.
But so Swamp has a good chance of being pretty empty as well. But we're gonna need that fire rod to show up sometime, because if something is on Ped, it's gonna have to show up sometime soon.
Yeah, we are slowly running out of spots to check.
And even if you can get into Mire, that's only 2 items. And neither runners even have the book, so you can't even check the pedestal to see what might be on it.
Hey, half magic from Helmosaur.
And Ultyma doesn't look too happy to find half magic. Ultima's like, where's the progression? You let me down.
I don't know. I never complain about finding half magic.
And Trinex, they have not done Waterfall Cave, so we'll see where Ultima is gonna plan on going next.
It'll take a couple seconds to think about it, but he is going to do some flipper checks now. Or possibly... No, he can't go into ice.
Oh, and we haven't had a Hobo or Lake Hylia Island check.
Oh, another vanilla piece of heart on the island.
So, yeah, we know King Zora is dead, and we know the ledge is dead, but Waterfall is still alive, and Hobo is still alive as for our water checks here.
Okay, nothing on the hobo. No, Trinex, we don't have the boots or hook shot. I'm not going to repeat that statement, but it was funny.
So, yep, the waterfall is dead. So, yeah, we're we're trying to struggle with this seed here. It's like, give us a break. So,
Yeah.
the pretty much everything the flippers have opened so far has been a bust. So we got to have something in Swamp, and even if it's
or that first chest of Turtle Rock.
Yep.
But yeah, we're really low on locations here. I'm trying to think if there's any overworld stuff we haven't seen yet.
I mean,
Sick
you know,
Kid,
even if we get we got Sick Kid. I wouldn't be surprised if. Well, it looks like Ultyma is gonna go for Swamp, so not gonna just do that convenient Sick Kid check right away.
Yeah, when you have Flute, going to Sick Kid is so quick. I don't see any reason not to do it. So, if Sick Kid ends up having a progression, this could be an oversight on Ultima's part.
But, you know, we're going to see what's in Swamp here. Perhaps Ultyma said, you know what, it doesn't matter really which order I do it in. You know, it's like a bunch of checks versus the other, but I don't know.
If I remember correctly, Ultyma did get the hint about left side Swamp having big key and a junk item, but I don't think he got the hint about the big chest. So if he's going in here and finds nothing in the first two chests, he may go for that big key. So that would be a significant time sink if he does that.
Which, another fake hint. So if this is a Ped seed, Ultyma is a little bit ahead of Roach. Roach would have to go back in and kill Blind.
Yeah, Roach mirrored out from the basement, decided to just take that risk that it's not going to be a Ped seed. First chest of Swamp, just some money.
Yeah, Duke Firebird pointing out that the dastardly thing about this is the Fire Rod is what we need to get our last pendant, but that also opens up the entirety of Turtle Rock minus Trinex. So,
yeah,
I mean, you have the option of either, because honestly, you could go with just go straight to the back of Skullwoods, kill the moth, and check the pet, and that would be probably not too long versus going all the way through Turtle Rock and coming up potentially empty-handed. So, what do you do in this case?
Well, the thing is, you could save your portal at Turtle Rock. So, based on item density, I might do that first, but I don't know. Roach, by the way, did check Sick Kid. It was just a piece of heart. Second chest of Swamp, just a compass. And Ultyma not going to go for the left side, so we already know there's nothing else there. So, is it? I think the only thing left is that first chest in Turtle Rock. I can't think of anything else.
And it looks like Ultyma is going to go. And what we could see here is some unique key logic that lets us go deep into Turtle Rock without having to check that those right two chests in the front there in the roller room. If the key logic, all the small keys line up perfectly.
Yeah, and Ultyma hasn't done Sick Kid, so I'm guessing he's just forgotten about that for now.
Yeah.
There's no reason to go here before Sick Kid.
And looks like Roach is going up to that Turtle Rock because Roach has not checked east of the mountain, so this is going to be a bit more worth it for
Yeah.
Roach than just one check.
Yeah, so he'll probably clean out Death Mountain, and then we'll see if he does make that dip into Turtle Rock for that first chest.
But
It's not
if
getting dead rocked.
that first chest happens to be something like Hookshot, that could be big for Roach's routing, because could get Hookshot Cave right away.
Yep. And he'll be able to, he won't have to double dip Swamp like Ultyma.
Yep. And Roach getting dead rocked as well decides, I'll just go to Spiral Cave. Unless he maybe was just checking Island and then came down here. Another troll hint.
Yep. Alright, so what's it going to be in here? Is it going to be an item, or is it going to be a key?
And it's a small key, so
We're going
deeper we go.
It is possible, if the keys lay out just perfectly, it's possible to get all the way to Laser Bridge with no fire rod. These pokies are a pain when you have to do it with Master Sword.
There we go. There's our progression. So we've got Hookshot. Now Ultyma wouldn't be surprised if he walks out, checks Hookshot Cave, and then heads back down to Swamp. No, a save quit. That could be big.
Oh, wow. I am very surprised he did not check Hookshot Cave.
So, Ultyma betting on Swamp. Meanwhile, Roach, all Roach has to do is dip Turtle Rock and then check Hookshot Cave, and that could have some progression that we've been looking for. Because Hookshot only gets you as far as the back of Swamp, and if Swamp comes back empty, Ultima's
well, no, it also opens up Misery Mire.
Oh yeah, Mire too. Yes, you are right. So, but yeah, there's only 2 items in there, which could be something. But,
yeah.
I mean, you definitely...
Well, Swamp also opens up Pyramid Fairy, which we do have a hint that it's junk. But Ultyma, I do believe, skipped that hint.
Turtle Rock is the other one, so... the other red crystal, so...
Oh, never mind. I read the tracker wrong. My bad.
Yeah, and that's just, I can't see a reason why Ultyma would voluntarily skip Hookshot Cave. I think it may have just slipped his mind to do it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But Roach is gonna open Turtle Rock. Will he go in?
I don't think he checked Super Bunny Cave yet.
And he's going in, so again, all Roach has to do after this is check Hookshot Cave, and if there's something there, this could put everything back in his favor. And yeah, Spy, Quake was on Race Game, and Ultima knows that. Just hasn't bothered to pick it up.
Flooded chest and swamp, just a map and some money. Oh, boots. Well, that opens up a few things.
Yeah, not a whole lot, but here comes the test, because it looks like Roach is gonna head to Hookshot. Now we'll see if skipping Hookshot was a regrettable decision or not. So far, nothing. 20 and 5. So the boots are the progression. There must be something in King's Tomb or the Bonk
Argus.
Or
or in Mire.
That is true. We have Mire again. I keep slipping my mind there. But yeah, this seed is one heck of a troll seed.
Argus Argus dodging those arrows skillfully, but the Ultima eventually gets them down. Just $50, so the boots, the only real important item to come out of Swamp.
But Roach, not far behind, will be able to go straight to the back of Swamp. Pretty much knows that knows both hints, and pretty much will be able to check that south chest in the south of the big chest, and then from there just go straight to the back.
Bonk rocks with just a piece of heart. Let's see if King's Tomb has any answers.
And if not, it's gotta be Mire. So
we're going into Mire.
I would imagine that it's a good chance that Mire has two good items.
Ultima just now remembering Sick Kid, or not? Oh, he's got to get that Quake medallion. Yeah, so he's just completely forgotten about Sick Kid, unfortunately.
Alright, so Roach, gonna do Swamp here. Ultima gonna head into Mire, and we'll see what's there. What do we need? We need so we're gonna need a fire rod and an ice rod, and
that's about it.
That's about it, and we're gonna need for sure at least a fetch quest, Bombos or Fire Rod out of Mire. And Duke Firebird updating the PED index. It is Ice Rod or Fetch. That is left for our eligible options.
Yep.
So Roach headed in the back, knows that left is dead and big chest is dead. And we'll be able to save some time here based on grabbing those hints.
For me, there wasn't really anything useful in Desert. There was the bug net. That was about it.
And there's the Ice Rod.
Alright. So that is the nail in the coffin for the pedestal.
Yep, because even some logically required things are off the table. You know, like you know, where your things that you don't necessarily need, like silvers, you know, but are technically logically required. But yeah, so it was a nice dream, but no dream today.
Yeah, and the thing is that Ice Rod doesn't even open anything right now, so we gotta have more progression in Mire.
Yeah.
Might very well just be the Fire Rod in here, which would put Ultyma in Go mode.
Yeah, it has to be a fetch, a fire, or a fetch or a fire item, either Bombos or Fire Rod. And Ultyma is avoiding the cutscene as long as he can.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Nobody likes doing that chest.
There's the Fire Rod. We have both rods in Mire.
And we have Go mode.
And we could call it the Mire Rod.
Alright, so both rods in Mire. That's Go mode 117 for Ultyma. So he's just got to find that big key. Then run down to Ice Palace, Go mode that. And then he's got to Go mode Turtle Rock. So Roach is, he's not going to be that far behind. He just has to go to Mire and get those two rods.
Yep.
Looks like he's going to quickly check those boots locations first.
Yeah, and at this point, Roach is just going to have to execute as clean as possible and hope Ultyma slips up, because now that Ultima's in Go mode, you know, it's Ultima's race to lose.
Yeah. So right now, I would, assuming Roach goes to Mire right after Bonk Rocks, I'd say Ultima's maybe 3-4 minutes ahead. So a decent lead, but you never know, some GT basement gambles could make the difference.
Yeah, you know, things like Ultyma going straight left, you know, or Ultyma checking left and right but skipping, you know, tile room, and Roach going straight for tile room. Stuff like that could happen. You know, And if the big key's in tile, that could give Roach a chance to catch up. But again, it's all going to come down to execution at this point.
Yeah.
And Ultyma using the silver machine gun on Vitreous. Well, at least for Ultyma, we'll get a dungeon that is pleasant to go mode, which is Ice Palace. Ice Palace go mode is a good thing.
Yeah, he's got that half magic and fire rod, so cold stare should be no problem whatsoever.
Alright, so Ultyma in Ice Palace, and again, go moding this place is one of the better places to go mode. Swamp is another example of a great place to go mode.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, Turtle Rock go mode is pretty much just Turtle Rock normal.
No, if you're lucky, you can skip Laser Bridge, but that's about it.
And maybe skip Lava Chest as well.
Yeah. Ooh, Roach forgetting to swipe that switch.
But Roach is going to go straight for the cutscene and get that big key.
Yeah, he still has to grab the fire rod, though.
Ultyma going for the IPBJ.
Add peanut butter jelly bomb jump.
And we'll see if Ultyma gets the spin strats on the stairs here. I haven't been able to get that yet.
Yeah, it's tricky to set up.
Nope.
I don't even think he went for it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Gonna check Freezor for convenience option, since we are still on Master Sword, so Bacon would be nicer.
Yeah. Don't blame him at all for that.
Especially against Cold Stare, it's very nice to have Bacon as well. But I mean, it's not like it's because especially with half magic, it's not like it's the worst fight in the world, but definitely again nicer with Bacon.
Pretty quick cold stare fight for Ultyma. As Roach has just grabbed the fire rod, so he is now in go mode. about 124, and he's just got to go straight to the boss because he's already got the big key. And Ultyma is on his way up to Death Mountain for the last time in this seed.
Roach making the final ascent to Vitreous, and Ultima making the final ascent to Death Mountain. So in we go to Turtle Rock. We've already got it partially open here. Zodiac, because Ultima has already done Ice Palace. So Roach killed Vitreous, and now should probably be headed to Ice Palace from here. I can't imagine going up to Turtle Rock first. So we'll get to see that, and Ultima beginning their Turtle Rock. Looks like Roach is going to stock up on some safeties first. And we got the big key in the front, so we can skip Lava Chest. Roach headed, to Ice Palace, so Roach will be able to go mod that one and kill off Cold Stare. And head on up to the Turtle Rock Death Mountain area for the last time. And Ultima will probably steal this key. Really no reason to check the lava chest unless maybe there's a sword there. But
yeah, unless he's really desperate for that tempered sword, he'll skip it. Getting harassed a little bit by the bunny beam there.
And Ultima is going to skip.
And Ultima gonna go ahead and skip the big key or the big chest. This is a slight risk because if there's small keys in the big chest and the big key chest, then you have to come back to get one of those. But we got a key in the crystal roller room, so we're all right.
So far, from what I can tell, these runners are pretty much on par with execution. So again, it's gonna take it's gonna take a mistake on Ultima's part at this point, to really kind of swing things into a position where Roach will be able to catch up. Other than, you know, as we said before, a tile room gamble type of deal.
I got another B on the laser bridge. Ultyma doesn't need to check these chests, but he is really hoping for that or tempered sword rather. Got knocked off, so he'll just decide to skip the last chest.
Yeah. Even though I'm sure these runners could do a Master Sword Ganon, nobody wants to do a Master Sword Ganon.
Yeah, tempered is... I mean, it's easier, but it's also faster.
Well, I mean, there's the difference between, you know, you have to use spins on Ganon with the Master Sword, whereas the tempered, you can just swing it around. It's not really about the damage, it's just setting up the spins that's really the problem.
Ultimate, gotta be a little careful here.
Yep. On blue mails, so I'm not sure how much a hug does from Trinex.
I think he will die from one hit here, but he gets it done. Alright, so with Turtle Rock done, we're going to GT, and you know what that means. We have a little game. There's 22 chests in the basement of Ganon's Tower where that big key can be. And let's start the guessing game. Throw your guesses in chat, numbers 1 to 22. This will be pretty quick. So, what are you thinking, Jedders?
I always love to go with lucky number 7.
Alright, I'm going to be bold this time and guess number 1. Just get it over with. And plus, that'll mean they'll probably won't find a tempered sword. Alright, Ultyma going right side first. Number 1, we got some bombs. Number 2, a map. So we cannot continue on the right side without a small key. So Ultima's going left. Number 3, small key on the torch. Number 4, small key. Number 5, heart piece, which gives him a nice refill. Number 6 is the compass. Number 7 is just some arrows.
Oh, looks like I win arrows today.
Alright, coming up on, I believe this is the map, or vanilla map, but today it is a big 300 rupees.
Alright. Coming up on Fire Snake and Rando Room. And there's a good chance that there's another sword in GT. A lot of times you'll find at least one. If you haven't found them already.
Oh, there it is. That was 13, was it?
Number 8. Or 9. 9.
9. chat help us out. It was 9, right?
Because you had your first 2, then Bob's torch, then your 4 in the Stalfos room, your Firebar room, and then finally your Fire Snake room.
Yeah. So, number 9.
And Roach is going to check the big chest, so let's see if there is a sword here.
And congratulations to Zodiac 9675 for guessing correctly. We do have a leaderboard for subs and supporters. And right now nobody has more than 1 win, so it's a pretty big tie at first place. But anyway, back to the race. Ultyma making his way through the gauntlet. Roach almost through with Turtle Rock.
I didn't see what was in the big chest.
I wasn't watching.
Yeah, I was looking at Ultima's side.
It wasn't a sword.
Yeah. Big chest had map. Okay. So, that last sword still elusive.
Yeah, and we've full cleared most of the dungeons, so don't know where those swords are, but pretty good chance at least one is in GT.
Well, we know where one is, and the other one is on Lumberjack.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one. Yeah, so there's only one of them at large.
I mean, if Ultima wanted, he could stop right now and do Aga. Really want that sword.
Somehow I don't see that happening.
And Roach is going to go with hammer strats on Trinex here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is faster or not than doing Master Sword.
It is faster if you're... It is faster if you are good on your hammer shots. Otherwise, not so much.
Ultima releasing his bees.
His armed bee escort. Alright, gonna check the mini helmet chests and nothing. Well then, what are those? Are those bubbles?
I don't know what you call those fireball things. He's getting in his way though.
The bubble was blocking his boomerang, so he couldn't actually hit the switch. Oh, and he's only got 2 hearts going into Aga too. Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't think he has a potion, so see, just got to be careful.
He had the opportunity to powder and get all that health back and did not. So this is going to have to be a very tight and clean fight. And that's how you get a very tight and clean fight, getting 3 on that one.
And a double very nice Agitude there.
Who needs to powder? That just wastes time. But that's still not going to be very good going into Ganon, because you don't get a full refill. So he's either going to have to mirror and flute to Witch's Hut or get the fairy down in the tree at the base of the pyramid.
Yeah, I think he's going to grab that fairy. Probably the right call. Ganon on Master Sword with not even enough health to take one hit is not fun.
Yeah, GFE pointing out that he would have just jumped in and got killed instantly by Ganon and reset health. Which,
that's not a bad idea either.
but we'll see if his execution is good enough to do this fight with just a fairy and 2 hearts.
So he's got to get 12 spin slashes in on phase 1, another 12 spin slashes in on phase 2, 4 spin slashes on phase 3, and then another 4 on phase 4 with silvers.
So there's the fairy. So now Ultyma is down to 7 hearts to work with on this fight.
This is a very nice position, though. He can get double hits in here.
Yeah, this is one of the good positions for Ganon to be in.
Ooh, takes another hit down to 4 hearts.
Each fire bat will do 3, and a Ganon hug will do a truckload. I think on Blue Mail he still does like 8 hearts.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Roach doing the climb. And I mean, the farther that Ultyma gets into this fight, the worse off it's gonna be if he dies. So this could give Roach a chance. Ooh, 1 heart.
He was lucky he got hit by that fire bat, because he ended up right under Ganon, and that would have killed him instantly.
Alright, phase 3.
Oh my gosh, that was close.
Ultyma is really clenching over there, giving giving the crowd a heart attack.
Misses the torch glitch, but with silver is not a huge deal.
Yeah, with Master Sword spins and having to be super careful about your health, I think the torch glitch is the worst of your worries if you have silver.
Well, there's the 4th arrow.
So Ultyma, just 1 heart remaining, pulls out the Ganon fight. Get your GGs in the chat. Ultyma finished in first place with official SRL time of 1 hour, 44 minutes, and just 1 second. GG to Ultyma.
Yeah. And we'll see if he wants to join us for an interview. And Ultyma is in the waiting room, so he should be with us momentarily. Roach, meanwhile, through the gauntlet, just a couple rooms from Moldum 2. He's also going to look for a tempered sword. He has, if he's looking at the IRC, he's probably seen the dot done already, but he is going to finish the seed out.
Yeah, you're this close. I mean, I would finish myself.
Yeah.
And Moldorm 2 giving him a little bit of trouble, pushing him against the edge a bunch, but Roach holding on.
Roach himself appearing in the chat. We are on a 10-minute delay, so
And Roach going to engage Aga 2.
and we're joined by Ultyma. GG Ultyma.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the win. That was quite a Ganon fight on one heart for most of it.
I had to make it interesting at the end.
Oh, were you worried? Were you sweating, or were you just like, nah, I'm just gonna let him think that I'm gonna die?
Yeah, I wasn't too worried. I knew I could tank one hit early on anyway, so I figured it would be okay.
Yeah, it looked like you got lucky when a fire bat hit you because it looked like Ganon was about to be on top of you, which would have killed you instantly, but the fire bat gave you the damage instead and kicked you out from underneath Ganon.
Yeah, that was a pretty good RNG on my side.
So, overall, I mean, this seemed like a fairly linear seed. Would you agree?
Yeah, that hook shot was ugly. And going into swamp and then having to go right back into swamp 2 minutes later was pretty annoying.
Yeah, I think you both last location the hook shot. Well, no, you didn't, because I think you didn't check Sick Kid.
Yeah, I only had that one check left in Kakariko, so I just didn't bother going back until it was all that was left.
Now, I have to ask, did you voluntarily, once you got that hook shot, did you voluntarily pass up on Hookshot Cave, or did it just slip your mind at the time?
I totally was like, oh crap, I completely forgot. As soon as I hit save and quit, if you look at my actual stream, you can see me just kind of bury my head.
Yeah, good news for you.
You didn't miss much in there. I think every chest in there was rupees.
Yeah, it was complete junk. There was like a 10 arrow, and then like two big 20s and a 5er. It was like complete junk. Nothing worth writing home about.
I almost went in there on the way to Ganon's tower, hoping for a sword, but I'm okay with Master Sword Ganon, so I figured I was behind at that point, so I figured I'd just go after clearing all the pendant dungeons.
And meanwhile, Roach going into the final phase here of the Ganon fight, so getting that torch glitch off, and here we go. 4 silver arrows to go. Now 3. And getting a double to finish it off. Get your GGs in the chat for Roach. Roach crossing the bridge in second place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 36 seconds.
GG's. And yeah, we'll see if Roach wants to come in as well. So Ultyma, one thing I wanted to ask, in your Kakariko checks, you skip race game and library. So one of your teammates said that's something you normally do. Is that right?
Yeah, I've been doing it lately. Little time saves here and there, and hoping there's nothing there. Actually, against you in our first league race, I think Lamp was in the race game, and I missed that. So it bites me sometimes, but other times it works out.
Yeah. I believe we are now joined by Roach. GG Roach.
GG.
GG Roach.
Good race, man.
Yeah. So overall, fairly linear seed. You guys both, for the most part, did the same things in the same order. Slight differences here and there, but it all kind of converged on that hook shot in Turtle Rock. That was pretty nasty.
No comment on that one.
You both pretty much. I think Ultyma had one other location, so it was like his second last location for him. But yeah.
And the thing is, I'm sitting here thinking about it. I really can't pinpoint a particular moment where that led to the difference between you and Ultyma. Perhaps, I mean, you had went through the front to check the back of Escape, and then ended up finding the gloves right thereafter in South Shore, so we saw the frustration slashes there.
Yeah, that's an early gamble I was taking, just hoping that, I'd find something back there, like a glove.
Yeah, Ultyma went to South Shore right away, got that glove, and then immediately, didn't even go to Ice Rock Cave, immediately went to Death Mountain to get the Titan's Mitts. So he was in Dark World several minutes earlier than you, and I think pretty much, yeah, that would explain most of the difference right there. Since pretty much after that, you guys did most of the same stuff, and you guys both executed pretty well. So, yeah, other than the start, there wasn't really a whole lot of difference in what you did.
Yeah, checks wise, I have nothing left. There's nothing left on my tracker on what to do.
Yeah.
That last sword on the lumberjack ledge, what a troll there.
The moment I saw that in the beginning, I was kind of expecting Master Sword again and mentally preparing myself for it. So when I got half magic and cape, I was feeling a little more comfortable.
And yeah, we were thinking for a while during the mid game that Ped was looking very possible, but
yeah, because we were only for the longest time only a fire rod away from full Ped access, and we didn't have a whole lot of spots left. But yeah, that hook shot in Turtle Rock just opened a bunch of stuff up.
yeah, basically that hook shot basically was, both of you basically close to last locationing that hook shot, if not officially, was pretty much, from there, that was the end of the seed. Like, from there, it took you straight progression where you needed to go. So
yeah, I don't think I've ever seen 2 rods in Mire before.
I was expecting to see Bombos to have to dig Ice Palace out for something else.
Yeah, luckily the seed wasn't that mean.
yeah, I mean, it started off pretty nice though. I mean, but that's the thing, when you get a lot of early stuff, that's not good news if it's not anything major. Like, if you get a hammer or a hook shot early, that just means that, the seed has hidden things away from you later on in the seed. That's generally what it means.
Yeah. So, I think, so both of your teams are done, both your matches for this week, is that correct?
Yes, for mine.
Yes.
You're looking ahead now towards inverted. How are you feeling about that?
I need to practice it a little more. I've done probably maybe a dozen inverted seeds, so not too many under my belt, but I'm semi-confident with it.
Yeah, inverted can be pretty tough.
Far more confident than I am for that crossroad key sanity. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting mix of modes they got in this league.
Yeah, that crossworld key sanity is, I think a lot of runners are not that particularly looking forward to it. I'm sure there are some in the league that are like, awesome, this is what I do all the time when I'm not practicing for other things. And then there's all the others that are like, man, I rarely ever do this. Because that's a lot of time, commitment
Yeah.
in a seed.
I'm looking forward to the co-op week. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I haven't got much experience with co-op, but I'm sure I'll do at least a few practice seeds with my team. Anyway, do you guys have any final thoughts about the seed or anything about the league at all before we start to wrap things up here?
The league's a nice little change of pace over the standard tournaments. Actually, it just definitely seems more relaxed, more fun than the other tournaments are. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I think the having it in teams makes it more like that.
Yeah, in a tournament setting, you're worried about you, the individual, performing, and you're the only ticket. Not to say that not going to play your best, but it definitely, I feel, it would put little bit less stress and pressure on you as the individual when you have a team kind of backing you up, and like you can practice with them, work on your strategies, get advice from others. Maybe you're not an inverted person, but someone else is. So you can run that person and say, okay, we're gonna do better because that guy knows inverted, I don't. That sort of thing, I think, really helps the dynamic and keeping a little bit of the pressure off.
Yeah, and plus just having your team in, they're rooting for you is kind of fun too.
Yeah.
And then you miserably lose and disappoint them all.
Well, I mean,
It
Team
was a
Pro
good race.
was definitely looking to strike back here. So, because the Immortals beat them in the first race this week, it looked like. So, want to get a little bit of vengeance here.
All right, well, yeah, unless you guys have any final thoughts, I think we'll start to wrap things up. We got 2 league matches tomorrow. So at 4:30 Eastern will be Tau for Team Missing Bow and Invictus Red for Team Blinds Bandoliers. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have Chizame with Team Kappa and Jet082 with Fendrana Drifters. So we don't have confirmed restreams for those matches, but I hope there will be some. So stay tuned. We do have a link to the schedule so you can see if there will be a restream. Let me just get that in chat real quick. And yeah, other than that, I want to give a shout out to our tracker, Kono Tyran. Did a great job today. Thanks a lot for helping us run this stream smoothly. And of course, to my co-com HXC Jetters and our runners Ultyma and Roach, you put on a great show today. That was a really fun race. So yeah, I've been ATM, and I'll throw it over to you, Jetters, for the final word.
Thanks. Yep. Again, great race by the runners. This was a close one. Not as close as our tie earlier this week, but definitely 6 minutes is pretty close, all things considered, and both runners executed very well. It's a very fun race to watch, and I'm looking forward to more races like this in the future. So, yep. I've been HXC Jetters, and thanks for calming with me, Edium, and again, thanks to our tracker, Kono Tyran, and our racers, Roach788 Ultyma. And we will see you all next time.